Sitcoms are a very popular form of television. There are a lot of different sitcoms today that are some of the most popular shows on TV, such as Modern Family, Will and Grace, and The Simpsons. Along with those, there are some sitcoms that are off the air that are some of the most popular shows of all time, such as Friends, Seinfeld, and How I Met Your Mother. With sitcoms being so popular, there are a lot of different characters in each sitcom that airs. A very popular type of character in this genre of television are gay characters. Gay characters in television sitcoms have a lot of the same characteristics to them, while in real life, people who are homosexual are their own individual person and can act and be whoever they want to be. This is not only true in modern day sitcoms, but also in sitcoms from the past. These gay characters are ultimately the same people, just put into different situations that the TV show calls for. There are countless examples of these characters in sitcoms, but I will be looking at 3 shows in particular: Will and Grace, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Modern Family. I chose these 3 sitcoms in particular because they are not only 3 of the most famous television shows that have aired on television, but also because in each of these shows there is at least one important character that is homosexual. I chose this topic for a lot of different reasons. For one, I actually grew up watching a lot of these different sitcoms. And also, I have a lot of gay people in my life, and they do not fit the same norms as the people portrayed in this television shows. There are a lot of arguments to say if these characters are good for society or not, but I am here to shine a light on the topic and let you decide how you feel about these characters yourself. Although these characters may not always look the same, they are portrayed in the same way. Throughout this essay, I will be using one character from each of the 3 shows that I have chosen. First being Jack from Will and Grace, and Titus from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and lastly, Cameron from Modern Family. All of these characters are depicted in a very stereotypical way. For example, all of them are very loud and flamboyant. Though they are all flamboyant, Titus is the most flamboyant of all. His character enjoys always being loud and in people's faces and dressing up in very bright patterned clothes. Another stereotype that is common with homosexual characters in sitcoms is that they are all funny. By this, I don't mean that they are just funny people who make jokes. When these characters fall into the stereotype of being funny, what that means is that they try very hard to be funny, but do it in a very specific way. They try to be funny by not making creative jokes. Instead, they are loud and in people's faces to try to make people laugh. The Will and Grace character, Jack, is a very good example of this. In this show, he has endless examples of being in everyone's face to be funny. Another stereotype that is very strong is that these homosexual characters are very clean and tidy. It is commonly thought by people that gay men are a lot like women, and there is a stereotype about women that they are very clean people. Because of this view of homosexual people being close to and seen as women, they are portrayed in these television sitcoms as being very clean and tidy people. A character that fits into this stereotype very well is Cameron from Modern Family. He likes to have his house very clean and tidy and organized overall. The last stereotype about homosexuals in sitcoms is about their fashion. All 3 characters in all 3 of these sitcoms fit into this stereotype. They all have their own specific sense of style that really hit the main gay fashion stereotypes. For example, Titus is very loud with his fashion choices. He wears a lot of bright colors and large things that really pop. While on the other hand, the other characters, Jack and Cameron, wear very tidy clothes. But in all of these examples, it shows that all of these characters are very interested in fashion and all give in to the stereotype that gay people love fashion. There are a lot of consequences to these different sitcoms giving into these stereotypes about homosexual people. The first is all about giving into stereotypes in general. With the stereotypes of the homosexual community as a whole, if people see these stereotypes in these sitcoms, they will see that these possible offensive actions of these characters as real actions in real life when that's not how all homosexual people act, and this can lead to a lot of discrimination towards the homosexual community. Putting these stereotypes aside, these TV shows are really just showing these characters being comfortable in their own skin, and that is a good thing for society today.